Hello peoples, welcome back to another episode of World of Warcraft Dungeon Progression Challenge. Today we're doing Arcatraz and, what is it, Magister's Terrace on regular difficulty. And following those, I'm going to start doing, well, the heroic dungeons for the first time. I'm going to do the first one just as I would a normal video, just to get a, I guess, what do you say, a feel for how each heroic is going to go and if they're tough or if I really need to record like 10 different dungeons of the same difficulty. Probably not. So I'll just do one regular and the rest sped up in kind of like a montage thing. So starting off in Arcatraz, one thing I'm pretty sure not a lot of people know. So you got these Sun whatever Kael'thas followers fighting off these mutants coming through the hallway. And the thing that people don't know is that if you kill all the archers, the warders here, including these two, the mutants stop coming. So, because of that, you don't have to fight your way through and try to pull everything and probably die. It makes things a lot easier. Of course, you have that weird evade thing where you killed their targets and they run back to their original position. But yeah, look at this. 2 mobs, that's it. Nothing else coming up at me. Just the regular spawns that just stand there. Patrol of a bunch of small ones and 1 big one. Oh, 2 big ones. Alright, I better get back into the habit of pulling a lot and then killing only when, well, I need to. Working on my sulfurous, but sulfuron ingot might be a while because that only drops from, what's his name, Golem Mag, and it's not a 100% chance. There's a lot of stuff in this room, and it has very large aggro radius. You may recognize this place if you ran Burning Crusade time walking dungeons. Oh yeah, I better check gear loot for any upgrades, even greens. So, Dungeon Progression Challenge is a basically dungeon progression challenge. Cloth shoulders, no thank you. Where you start with a naked character and try to progress your way through all of the World of Warcraft dungeons, starting with starting with the first and up to Dragon Soul Cataclysm raid. And you're only allowed to use and equip gear that you get from, well, the dungeons you run, nowhere else. And let's see, well, I've sort of made up or adjusted the rules as I went on. How do they say it? As I go? Yeah. To help out things, you know, like what I'm doing for heroics and if I miss a spot. One example is that I've gemmed my gear. Okay, now this room, if you're running this at time walk or at level, Screamers, I'm not sure which one it is. I think the Screamer will absorb a certain school of magic, the first one he's hit by, and then he'll take less damage from it, and gain an ability which is usually like Shadow Bolt Volley, Frostbolt Volley, or, you know, an area of effect attack of that type. Now these Warp Masters are something people, well, I didn't think he would die in one hit. Well, basically it summons a column of purple light that powers him up, it stacks, and he restores health. And a lot of people don't see that, and so they stand in it and he becomes impossible to kill and they wipe. This room, you don't want to pull these Eridar all at once because they have a stacking cast, movement, and attack speed debuff. Oh, and also watch out for the dead bodies lying around. If you stand too close to them, they will spawn little maggot things. Ta-da! Aren't they cute? But yeah, Arcatraz is pretty straightforward. Did I come in through here? No, I went upwards. I came in through here. There's the archway, entryway. There's the first boss, Arcatraz, and this is the ramp I went up. And here's where I am. There's the warp master things. And here's me. Now this room. Hey, I got reputation. This room there are like 2 or 3 stealth succubi who will probably, there's one, will probably aggro to the healer or someone walking out too far ahead of the tank. One of them usually standing by the boxes here. Maybe I can use Piercing Howl. Hello. There might be one more, but hey, could take forever to find one. Plus, I'm really high level, and they probably won't aggro onto me unless I get right next to it. So Dahlia has 2 abilities. Well, I guess one main ability you want to interrupt, her heal, which is usually preceded by Whirlwind, which you don't want to stand in because you will die in like 2 or 3 hits. Oh, that's on time walking, of course. What's his name? Socrates? I was gonna say Socrates. Oh, hello! Ooh, me likey very much. Hello. Where have you been all my life? What does this look like? It looks like a worm. Oh, shoot, I got lost. I was not even looking. Rascryer Socrates? Socrates. Okay, he's pretty straightforward. He has a damaging fire aura, and he does a charge. He knocks back all players in melee range, and after he charges, he leaves fire on the ground of the direction he traveled, so don't stand in fire. That's pretty much it for him. Dahlia, you just don't want to, you know, stand in Whirlwind and make sure you interrupt her heal. You can also interrupt her, like, there's another thing she casts on the Gift of the Doomsayer. This debuffs the player that when that player attacks, they heal Dahlia. When they are healed. Oh no, okay. When the debuff player is healed, Dahlia is also healed. So that's kind of tricky. Is that what it says? I read it kind of fast there. Curse the player 10 seconds. Heal when they are healed. Yeah. So healer instead, you could try to do less heals, but put up some like damage reductions. So in that way, you help the tank not die, but you also don't heal them. From through this way, you got these ethereals walking through here. I don't know what they're looking for. Probably a sword to the face. And the last room here, yeah, I've seen people do this all the time. They run in with their face and they pull everything at once, and that sucks because these satyrs are ranged hunters. The archers will attack you from range, and the Hellcaller, I think he does gouge, similar to what a rogue can do. And oh, there it is. The archer also does a hooked net, which roots you in place, and then they'll step back and pick you off because you can't do anything at all. So it's really a pain in the butt. So what you want to do is line of sight them through this doorway.
I don't have a target.
Goodbye, Abyssal. And these Abyssals, oh, this first one though, you want to make sure that you pull the satyrs through the doorway so that the Abyssal doesn't patrol close enough to aggro. And for the Abyssal, you just want to stack on the tank because
Too far away.
he has an ability, Meteor, which deals damage split among everybody hit. And every hit, and well, it could be anybody. So just to make sure it hits everybody, you want everybody in the same place. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think 2 or 3 people is pretty high damage. So running up on the last boss, you come to Warden Melchior. Lizard likes their history names. So one of Kael'thas's servants, I forget the lore or not really too much into it, but he's here. He's crazy. I guess he's being brainwashed by the what is it, Harbinger Skyrus. Because, well, he does speak kind of crazy like. So Basically, he opens up prison chambers for bad things to attack you. I think the first one is always an imp. Go away. Second one is also an imp. First cell. Alright, you can also get this thing, Phase Hunter. It blinks behind its target.
Where in Bonzo's brass buttons am I? And who are... That is one mother of a headache. What is this?
Ah, Milhouse. Nice to see you.
I will do better. Oh, great.
Spell power. I just looked at the socket bonus. Strength, critical strike, haste, and spell power. Ridiculous. Third one is an elemental. This wind elemental has like a forked lightning attack. What is it? Abilities, third cell. Lightning jump, lightning discharge, lightning bolts to all players within 50 yards. Ah. So not just everything in front of him. And the last one is Dragonkin. Last one before the boss anyways. Blackwing or Twilight. He's got all kinds of abilities, sort of reminiscent of Blackwing Lair. And our final prison cell is Harbinger's Skyrus. He's got a mind control that you want to, I guess, stun or crowd control the affected player until it wears off. It's like 4 or 5 seconds. So please don't kill them or apply all the debuffs in the world that you can. And he also splits himself, sorta, at certain intervals of health. So the best way to do it is to mark him with an icon, anything. See, then he'll split, and his copy has a lot less health than he does. So you want to take that out first. And you'll know which one is which because you marked him off to start with. And there he is again, and there's his clone. But yeah, some people do like to... no upgrades. Some people like to attack him and kill him without really paying any attention at all to the copies. AKA tunneling. Okay, next place we're going is Magister's Terrace. Woohoo! Let's go. So, Magister's Terrace, for anyone wondering where it is, from the center of Shattrath City in Outland, not Draenor, you'll find this single portal next to the Shattered Sun banners. You pop in, you are mounted. They gotta fix this portal already. You pop in, and you arrive at the Isle of Quel'Danas. And Magister's Terrace is right up this path, all the way up the hill, and into there. And there you go. This was the instant Magister's Terrace, the beginning. Pretty straightforward. Very straightforward, I should say. You got a lot of Shattered Sunblade guards, still followers of Kael'thas, I believe. So, a couple groups on the side. Try not to pull casters or barrage pull. It's probably still unavoidable, given the nature of barrage, if you're familiar with it. And around here is the first boss, but not before you clear the trash. What I see most groups do is line of sight them behind these walls here. But since I'm level 100, I don't care, so I can do what I want. First boss is Sullen Fireheart. He takes more than one hit. Can I use this? I'd say one hand, but I do use it for transmog. I love this thing. I have one already. So what he does is you may have noticed some crystals around the room. He'll occasionally absorb energy from them, and you have to destroy them before he fully recharges his mana. And after it's destroyed, or after he's absorbed it all, he will start to expel the energy in the form of AoE damage. Every few seconds he'll deal damage to the entire group, and it kinda hurts. Maybe, I don't know. Didn't really seem to hurt that much on Time Walk difficulty. And that's pretty much it. He's got life drain and mana drain, and yeah, you can even interrupt those. Wow. That was a bit laggy. Maybe I can use that for my engineer. Next boss, Vixalis, is pretty much a tank and spank. He does summon these pure energy things periodically. When you kill them, they increase your damage dealt, but you also get a debuff of taking damage over time. I'm not... Wow, this thing looks huge. That's what she said. Not too sure how the fight was intended to go, but that's probably, you know, a big help there. I'd say damage dealers would do well from killing those little pure energy balls. Because if you're taking damage over time, you don't want to be the tank, and well, being a tank, you don't want to take much damage at all. That's pretty much part of your job. So, making your way across that outside part, down this ramp, pulling everything still. Who else is not dead yet? Wretched husks. These were from the Stellan Fireheart's room. Come on. Fall over. There we go. And no loot for me. How rude. Now, this room, people pull a lot. What I do for this group, I pull this one behind the door we came in. And the trouble is that group in the center. And you can pull these 5, but then this Magister here, he patrols around the center, and like, even if melee gets close enough here, you can pull the center group, and then there's this mage, he doesn't move unless he's interrupted, but then once melee gets in range of him, you pull like the side group, and then everything is crazy. Ah. So yeah, very tricky room if you're not smart. Okay, kill those things, kill these things, loot these things. And kind of the same thing with this room, but a little less difficult. I don't want to say difficult, like less cluttered with mobs. Okay, and sometimes groups like to clear the back area. The minimal amount of clearing I see before Terrace is, well, the groups I've cleared there. Usually you can clear a side group or an entire side of the room, which would be like the group here, and maybe the 2 back there as well. So Terrace actually spawns, I don't not really want to say spawns because she's there as soon as you start the dungeon. She's accompanied by 4 random, I guess, mobs. Could be any one of these, and they've got different abilities. It's basically like Trial of the Crusader, where like the faction champions, they sort of have random loot tables. Like Zelfan is an engineer, Polko is a shaman, Arcatraz is a hunter. As you can see, he's got a little Ravager pet and a warlock. Terrace is healer, obviously, being a priestess. What is it? Priestess, yep. So once you take her out, it is a pretty messy fight though. So you just gotta make sure you use potions, heals, and basically I think the best way to do that is to make sure someone interrupts Terrace while DPS focus down targets one at a time. Okay, so make your way to the final room. He will fight Kael'thas Sunstrider again. You know, this doesn't make a lot of sense because for a dungeon progression challenge, this comes first before Tempest Keep. And it doesn't make sense because lore-wise, Tempest Keep comes first. Oh well, that's pretty much how it goes in this game. He'll pretty much spam Fireball at you. Occasionally he'll summon a Phoenix, which will chase down a player, turn into an egg, and try to resummon itself. Just wondering how much I want to show. Phoenix will try to resummon itself as an egg, so you destroy the egg and it will not resummon, so that will be the end of that. When Kael'thas is at low health, he'll cast Gravity Lapse, causing players to be able to fly through the air, similar to, I guess, swimming. But you move at the speed you do, I guess, when you're flying. Is there a modification? 210%. Not bad. And these purple arcane energy balls will chase you around, so make sure you lure them away, fly in for a few hits, and move away once they get close. And repeat. Oh yeah, and occasionally he'll be drained of energy. And then he'll start to whine, such is typical. Perhaps he broke a nail. Blood elves.
The world shall burn!
And fun fact, he has the chance to drop a mount and a pet. However, I don't think it's on normal difficulty. No, just heroic. The Phoenix Hatchling and Swift White Hawk Strider, also a toy, or of the Sindorai. You can turn into a Blood Elf. Dorai. Here's what I look like. Ooh, shiny blonde hair. Okay, this has been episode 26 of Dungeon Progression Challenge. If you like this video, leave a like. And if you want to follow along with this series or anything else on my channel, feel free to subscribe as well. Okay, till next time when I start doing heroics. Peace well, stay well, and farewell.